Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been a while since I've posted, and I thought it was a good time to post something relevant to fibromyalgia, which is something that I deal with, or at least it's the label I've been given that I deal with. And so, if you haven't watched any of my videos before, um, prior to this one, of course, uh, basically, yeah, I got diagnosed. I think, geez, 2000, maybe 6 years ago, 2017 or so. I'd have to check my videos, but ever since really struggling with my body since 2015, actually, 2014, 2013. And they couldn't really find anything, and it was just the beginning of symptoms, which was I had diarrhea for 2 years, and whatnot. And I lived a pretty extreme lifestyle. I would get up at 2:30 in the morning every day, study, learn, try to stay positive, and move forward. I owned a business. I did bodybuilding, so I trained myself. I trained a lot of people, and I had a full commitment to that lifestyle. And actually, a lot of that, what I just said there, is going to be relevant to this video. And this video is in regards to disordered eating. So, for me, to give you a little bit of understanding, obviously being in the health and fitness industry, and for somebody like anybody that has been exposed to this sort of information, you can see that there's a lot of polarity between good and bad, and everybody seems to have an opinion. And the more you try to research something, the more opinions you're going to get. And for somebody that may not feel like you're not knowledgeable enough, or you're seeking knowledge outside of yourself, or not reconfirming the knowledge that you're learning with your own experience, you basically become subject to so many different opinions, and you never really understand who you are, or what eating means to you, what eating means to me. That's at least the position that I'm coming from right now. And even being in the industry prior to, it has left me, I feel more disoriented, and my actions over long periods of time have created a situation where I feel like out of control. Not in, and I'll show you what I mean by, or I'll express what I mean by that. So, over a period of time, if I can find a way to show a picture at some point in this, I was fit and lean. I was about 145, 150 pounds, maybe around the 145 mark. And then over the past like 7 years, I've lost a ton of weight, and I was usually sitting at around 105 pounds, 110 pounds max. So I lost about 35 pounds roughly over a period of time. So it was subtle. And a lot of that was due to not really understanding or knowing, was due to my body and like the symptoms that I was feeling, and all the reading that I was doing. Oh, avoid this food. Oh, avoid that food. Oh, eat all organic. Oh, the chemicals, pesticides, metals, clean air, clean water. Basically, I just became this like purist. Like everything had to be pure, because I had to make sure that I was afraid of, one, getting sick, or two, just having disruptive symptoms in my body. And that created a lot of chaos within me. And of course, sorry, I just lost a little bit of my train of thought there. But yeah, there was just so much information out there that was telling me not to eat certain things. And when you're surrounded, or you live in a culture, I live in Canada, and that is, modernized and industrialized. You're surrounded by fast food. I ate fast food pretty much my whole life. I thought of food as something like a joy, a pleasure. Now it's like completely different. I want to enjoy food in a certain way, but I'm just so caught up in the dilemma of like, it has to be pure food, it has to be clean food, praying that each time I eat I don't get sick, praying that each time I eat I don't feel like shit, I don't feel lethargic. Trying to work and eat at the same time has posed an extreme challenge for me. Never really feeling hungry, lethargic, trying different eating styles and, listening to them and thinking, yeah, this is what I have to do, this is what it says, not really listening to my own experience inside my own body. Ultimately, I still struggle with that. I'm currently just had my first session with a mental health worker that focuses on eating disorders. And so, if you're wondering what eating disorder because I was diagnosed with severe eating disorder, and currently I've been trying to get into getting help, but unfortunately I don't have a lot of money, and a couple of these places that I was being brought to said that my situation's too extreme and that I need more help. But the help that they've sent me was gonna cost me like, I think $40,000 or something. It was something stupid, like something not even possible. So unfortunately, the system can't really help me in that regards, which is kind of sad. But you know what? Hey, I'll still try my best and whatnot. And I know there's lots of other people out there that can help me. Without going too far off track with this, and just kind of sticking on the focal point of the eating disorder, I have something called, or I resonate with this concept of orthorexia, which is unhealthy obsession with healthy eating, is essentially the easiest way to put it. So, yeah, I obviously have an obsession with that. Now, there's no strong body image issue associated with that. So, like, I'm really skinny and malnourished, and there's a lot of issues with me, and it may be because of this. Like, I'm anemic, I'm always freaking cold, my joints and everything always hurt, and there very well could be carryover. Carryover meaning, like, I beat the shit out of my body for a really long time, trying to prove myself, trying to push the limits, and I've hurt myself tremendously in the past. Thank God I can still walk. Thank God I'm still alive in some regards, because I've done a lot of stupid things, and I understand why I did those stupid things, and I'm grateful that I've done them, because it showed me a fearlessness that I have, potentially, or at least I had. Now I'm unfortunately run by fear and trying to get out of that the best I can. But yeah, so yeah, orthorexia basically is the thing that I struggle with fibro, and I'm sure it's not helping the fibromyalgia at all, or it could be a huge reason why. There's so much energy that goes into food and thinking about food, and I've went from eating out a little bit to basically eating all my own food. Now I'm starting to branch out. I'm starting to try to eat foods that I looked at it as like unhealthy, and just trying to break that mental barrier, because it's really hard. I still struggle immensely. I'm probably just touching the surface of this issue. But like I said, I'm trying to understand myself and what I may need in order to do that. And I definitely think having somebody on my side that understands this concept, and as a mental health worker, and somebody that is open to my opinions. I'm pretty opinionated and stubborn. So maybe this person that I've spoken to once could be of good help. I'm not really sure. But I would really love for anyone that watches this video, have you experienced, this relationship between maybe disordered eating in any way, shape, or form? That doesn't mean like, malnourished and not eating, but like overeating. I mean, I know a lot of people are associated with that. Or many people can be associated with it just because the amount of food in our culture. So yeah, like, please let me know, and how it affects, your day-to-day life, and what you're maybe doing to work on that, or not, or just knowing that, for me, food's a safe place. So I it's so important to me, unfortunately, to feel safe, because I'm potentially not dealing with emotions that I have that are causing this to happen. I'm also struggling. I'm 35 years old. I'm also really struggling with something called, this is the way I perceive it at least, a man child. So I don't feel like being an adult. I want to be taken care of. I don't want to cook anymore. There's times where I just go into like pure child mode, and it's very disheartening. And I feel guilty and shame because of it, because I feel like I should be an adult, and that goes down a spiral of just like not wanting to exist and all sorts of those things, right? So, it's not my first rodeo with thoughts of this suicidal ideation or just not wanting to live and hopelessness. Those are all real things, and things that I listen to pretty much on a daily basis, unfortunately, and I do my best to just mitigate that and to realize that it's just environmental. I mean, maybe I've spent too much time on computers, or I'm inside my head too much, sort of thing, and I just need to get out into nature and go for a walk, sort of thing, or do whatever I need to do to mitigate the effects. And eating sometimes is one of those. So anyways, not to make this video any more longer than it already is, please comment down below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Always good to connect with others that are, in similar positions. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And if I hopefully post some more videos and, get some more interaction, that's cool too, because community is key for sure. Anyways, much love. Peace.